Creativity is an act of leadership. In business, the true return on investment is not always found on a balance sheet. It lives in the culture you build, in the energy your organization carries, and in the way your clients feel when they experience your company. Those things are difficult to measure, yet they are often the greatest drivers of long-term success. As entrepreneurs, we choose a path defined by uncertainty. Risk is not something we avoid, it's something we learn to navigate. But the real objective is not simply the pursuit of money. The real work is building people, because the strength of an organization lives in the individuals who shape it, protect it, and carry its identity forward. I am Selena Eklund, the first female coach at the Elliott Group. My work is centered on helping leaders cultivate creativity, develop their teams, and build cultures that create lasting impact. This podcast is a space for entrepreneurs and leaders who believe that businesses are not built by numbers alone, but by people, courage, and willingness to create something meaningful. I feel like you're so mature for your guys' age. You're so much further ahead than what most people are.
Yeah.
How did you guys become mature, or like, how did that happen? I know for me, I remember going to the dentist all the time, and the dentist, when they were like having a conversation with me or they're asking me questions, they're like, wow, you speak so like professional and you're very like, you know your answers. And I'm like, dude, I'm just a kid. Let's just get my teeth clean. Let's go in and out. But I remember a lot of times growing up, people would tell me that.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from my parents having a military background. So everything was like, dress right, dress. No ma'am, no sir. Like, I was smacked in the head if I didn't say that. So I think it kind of was like naturally came in me. But were you guys always like developed like this? Or, because you're also both 18 and, you know, you're just really mature for your age. Like,
right.
Did you get that from someplace, or, you know, how did that?
I think growing up, my mom was actually in politics. So she was I think I was like, the first time she ran, I was like 4, 5, 6, like somewhere in that range. So literally from that age up until I was like 14 or 15, my whole life was like political events, constantly meeting new people, like literally going out to the polls, hey, vote for my mom, like just constantly meeting new people. I was, and it was always like that new interaction, how to like start a conversation, how to make small talk, and like just really how to like get a connection with a person when you literally just meet that person, and then also you meet hundreds of other people the same night, you know. So I feel like that was the biggest thing for me specifically, on just like, number one, my communication, but also just like becoming a people person, almost like, because I had to, really.
Yeah, and I think another thing is spiritual maturity. Like, we grew up in the church, so we were going off the Bible and what our pastors were saying. We just knew that like there was more so a law that we had to follow. So like following that law, we began to just know respect towards like the elder, and just going out and just being kind and having that humble heart and just things like that. And I grew up and my parents were very old school, so like that also helped with the maturity aspect.
How did you guys meet? Did you guys meet, like in school?
In church.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Were your schools close by, or did you guys live in the same neighborhood?
Kind of, yeah. We didn't go to the same school district, which actually I think was our biggest blessing.
Yeah.
But we were like neighboring school districts, pretty much.
Oh, but the church shared like both of those, your neighborhoods or whatever. So you guys both
it was a relatively big church, so there was a lot of people. Even they would come from like 30 minutes away just for that church. And it was funny because obviously I'm a drummer. I'm very involved with like the worship side of church, and the first night in youth that I was drumming was the first time that we met. So it's a crazy date, July 21st, 2021. So that's it. I'll always remember for multiple reasons.
Is that the first time you saw her? Or
it wasn't the first time that we actually like had a conversation.
Yeah.
Because I know we had mutual friends. Yeah, I know we had some like mutual friends throughout the school districts, and like we've heard of each other. Like it was kind of just like, oh yeah, I think I've seen her or like heard of her name or something like that. And I mean, with a name like Wynter, it's kind of a hard one to forget. But it was like the first night that we actually like talk to each other in a meaningful way. So.
And how old are you guys?
14 and 15.
Yeah.
Wow. So all your mutual friends then went to the same church.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever know, like, when did you start to know, like, I think I want to be with this person for the rest of my life? Because that's a really big statement. I think about like Marie and Bryson, like they knew in like middle school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, that is just so crazy. Like, I wish well, I shouldn't say I wish I had that feeling, because I'm at where I'm at now. I'm like married and things are great now, but it's just cool to like be able to evolve with everybody's story is different, right?
Right.
But I think it's really neat to like build each other up from the beginning before you're both successful.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many people that are like, you know, get a good marriage, or like make a lot of money, work on your business, do all this stuff, and then maybe go look for a relationship or anything like that. And I feel like building a relationship while you're in the build of your business as well is the best thing that you can do, because even before everything's perfect, like you're gonna be able to build such a relationship, because obviously there's gonna be more struggles in the build than there will be when everything's like ironed out. But like I just feel like when you're able to do that, and if that opportunity comes, you know, by you and God blesses you with that, it's like it's a really good thing that's gonna help you in the future, because you already kind of pre-figure everything out together, and then when everything is ironed out, you're like, man, this is like, obviously there's going to be problems still, but it's like we already went through some things that have like figured out like, okay, how do we, you know, resolve arguments this way, and like you just figure that out super quick and early, and so it kind of sets you up and helps you in the future in the long run. So
yeah, man, that's really special. What do you love the most about Wynter?
Man, what I'd just say her personality, because like we're so similar but also so different, and like it's a like contrast, but like I feel like obviously we're rowing in the same direction and we have the same mission, which is the good thing, but like we also complement each other in like some other areas where it is like it's helpful, because I'm a very driven, like let's go get after this, and like she is too, but she's also more calculated. And so it's like to have that, it's like it's a thing and a bad thing, because like sometimes she pulls me back and I'm like, yeah, you're right, maybe we should think about this a little bit more, but then sometimes it's like, no, I know this is what we should be doing, or this is where we should go, so like I need to go. And you know, it can have that contrast, but it can also be like the best thing ever, just because, you know, you have both sides of the story.
That's great. I have a random question for you guys. I
Go
saw
for
this
it.
on a podcast title the other day, and then I should ask you the question before I back it up, because then it'll like then I have your open opinion. So I guess I'll make that statement after. But what makes you guys both think that God is real, individually, like in your own opinion? I saw that and I was like, man, that's actually a really good question, because there's no right or wrong answer, because everybody has their own journey, you know. So I just wanted to ask you guys, like, what makes you believe and think he's like real?
You want to go ahead?
I just looking like at him specifically, I can see God working in him every second of every day. Like when he drums, I can like, it's just a crazy, you know, some people aren't gonna believe it, but I can just see the Holy Spirit like working through him, and the way he talks and the way he prays and the way he sells. Like I can just hear God like moving his lips, like talking through him, and just his heart changing. Like when I first met him, he was very egotistical. He had a big head.
He's like, I'm the drummer guy. I'm like the better version of Green Day, representing Jesus. You know, did you have the Bieber hair too? You still kind of have it a little bit now.
I used to.
But not on the sides.
Man, I wish I had a picture. I could have a picture prepared.
Wynter was just eating it up. She's like, yeah, you're my, what's the other band's name? Gosh, I'm just trying to think of some other like bands that were popular then that were just like hot back then. All the girls like loved it. That's really cool.
Yeah, but he had, you know, there was ego sides of him, but he's 100% changed, and his heart is softened, and he's changed for me even, and that just wasn't like an overnight thing, but it's happened, and I see God through him, and that makes me believe that he's real, and I've experienced God myself, and just dreams and prophetic and just things like that. So I just 100% know that's real.
Yeah, I would say for me, growing up in the church, I had the fortunate opportunity of seeing God move at a young age. And from that, it's like I've seen so many miracles, I've seen so many deliverances, I've seen so many people who have been, you know, the worst people on earth, like everyone know what they did because it was just that bad. And I've seen those people come into church and be radically transformed over time. And I think to where our church is at now in Mesa, and so we do a community food distribution, and I've seen people come through that line, and then the next week I see them at church, and then the following week I see them in an altar call, and then the following week after that I see their hands raised in worship. And it's like, to see that progress and to see that transition, it's like, what else could it be? You know, because it's an working, and then you can see the outward expression over time. You know, I feel like there's an inward shift and an inward change, and then over time you're able to see the physical along with that. So that's how now.
Wow, that's cool. Those are some good answers.
Yeah.
I didn't think you guys you're gonna get all prophetic on me. I was like, I never heard it said like that before. That's really good. Yeah, it's he's been actually appearing in our life more than ever before lately, actually. Or sometimes you know, you just believe in so long you kind of get numb to it, like you just kind of know it. I feel like that's been me. Because we got baptized like 3 years ago, so I was on fire then, you know?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of felt like, you know, normal stuff, but I feel like he's kind of been in our life. So it's, the thing that made me want to ask that was this photo. I actually saved it to my phone because I thought it was really powerful. It's what Luke dropped in the chat last night. I know Jesus is real because I've seen the difference between me with him and me without him.
That's good.
He dropped in a photo in our group chat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I really like that. And I usually don't save photos, but I saved that one because, you know, I think about my life before, and somebody had asked me at our wedding, you know, she's like, what does it feel like to be married? You know, it's like when you turn 18 and you're like, okay, I was just 17 yesterday, like to your cousin, like, you know, it's just 24 hours difference. But she's like, and you know, we've lived together we bought our home together like 3 years ago because we knew we wanted to be together. But she's like, what does it feel like? And I just told her, I was like, you know, it's time to like take life serious. Like, there's no more joking around. Like, it's no more, like, playtime. And I feel like a lot in my 20s, and probably most people, you guys are very, like, unique to your situation, but I feel like in my 20s, a lot was, like, playtime and, like, having fun. And it's like, okay, by, like, 25 and, like, 26 and 27, like, you got to start to get serious.
Right.
Like, I remember being 24, 25 and, like, slowly winging of, like, the clubbing, partying, hard partying, like just hungover work days, to that kind of winged off to just drinking on the weekends with friends.
Right.
And then that kind of winged off to eventually like, okay, like, you know, like I want to get serious about finding a significant other so we can have kids. And Greg posted this video the other day. Did you see what was on his story? It was really good.
I don't think so.
It talks about like propaganda and what like how long has propaganda been going on to make everybody go for alcohol and men and women and all of that. And it's like, to have a wife and kids, it's like, oh, you're missing out. And it's like, if that's what missing out is, then I'm gladly able to miss out every single day, because this is what matters more. So
true.
As you know, both of you guys are still younger. What does your life look like with you guys prioritizing what's important to you? What do conversations look like? Are you guys, we work in a company where communication is really pressed on, like with the team and with our spouses. So to anybody listening to this, whether they're older in their relationship or younger, how's that going between you two? What does that look like of, kind of like wanting to be serious in life, or not serious, but you know what I mean? Like thinking of the future and what you really want.
Right.
Yeah, whenever Jaden told me that he wanted to move to Arizona, I immediately shut down, was like, this is not going to happen. I actually told him that if he moved to Arizona, I was leaving him. And
she's like, I heard they got athletes for they got things out there. There's some wild people. Just kidding. I gotta say, I can look back and see that I have one sock on and one shoe on,
But everyone I knew and loved was in Pennsylvania. So him taking charge and saying this is what we need for our future. This is the only way we're gonna grow. Sitting here, we're just being complacent. We're never gonna change. Everyone around us is the same. Nobody wants to change. Everyone is born in Pennsylvania and dies in Pennsylvania. That's how it is. So we just knew that we had to get out of our hometown to feel like home. And I just had to almost humble myself and let him take charge and just go. I just had to go where he wanted us to go, and I knew that I loved him and I was going to be with him no matter what. So we went, and the best decision we've ever made.
Very true.
And now we're married, and if we wouldn't have moved, I don't think that we would have taken that action to do what was best for us and be in covenant with God and get married so soon. But I don't regret a thing. And
yeah, Jaden, why do you think why do you encourage risk taking?
Yeah, I think with the position we're in our age, I feel like my worst case scenario is like everybody else's reality. And I feel like if I could take a risk now where I don't necessarily have like back when I originally made that suggestion about the move, I really didn't have that much like responsibility. Is it more responsibility than other people have my age? Sure. But my thoughts were like, if I can make the change now and just kind of like figure it out now, even if it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like we're still good. Or if it doesn't work, like I still have time to like reset and figure it out and still be on track. So I think for me, it was less of like what happens if this doesn't work. It's like what happened if it does work. But even if it doesn't, like there's nothing bad that's gonna happen necessarily.
Yeah. Gosh, I remember when I moved out here to Arizona too. I was like, well, worst case scenario, if things don't work out, I guess I can always move back to Washington.
Yep.
Or I've seen like Instagram videos of that, and I'm like, never mind. I'm like, I don't want to go back. But I did about that. I'm like, yeah, if things don't work out in Arizona, you always have family back at home. Like,
right.
I just think about, I tell my brothers all the time, I'm like, there's homeless people that are finding ways to get money. Like, you'll figure it out if you want it that bad, you know?
Right.
Like, people that are addicted to things, they do bad things to figure it out. Like, and if we have people that love us, like, you know, we'll figure it out.
100%.
You know? But I think it's so good, and I think everybody should get out at 18. I think it's the best.
I agree.
Yeah.
Being able to figure it out on your own, like I feel like so many people are, you know, it's like over procrastination where they're like,
that's a good way to put it.
They're just like, wait, when this way it is, like it'll be perfect, I'll do it all then. And it's like similar to we actually had a meeting this morning, and it was going over the same thing, and it was just like, you know, just or I forget what he said. It was preparation over perfection or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And he was just like if you could just move when things are imperfect, like you'll be forever wealthy. Just because like any successful person you look at, they're just, you know, building the airplane while they're flying it. And it's just like, you know, being able to kind of operate from that state in all areas of life and not just business, and just kind of like learn to just figure it out. And that skill is just so valuable. And I would recommend that to anyone really, just to go out, figure it out, learn on the way, and see what you can make out of it.
Yeah, and Wynter, you do photography on your own.
Yes.
So I feel like both of you guys have an entrepreneur spirit, which I'm sure it really helps.
Right.
Encouraging each other to, you know, try new things. I tell people all the time, every single person that besides you guys, because you're close to me, but, you know, new people that come on the podcast, I always say, I really don't think that politics is going to change the world. I truly do believe it's going to come from entrepreneurs, because you take the most amount of risk. And I think people's respect, it gets earned. Like, it's not given. PBD said one time, he said, I will always love my kids no matter what. Like, endless supply of love. But if you want me to respect you, then you have to earn it. Love is different than respect. He's like, I'll always love you, but like having respect, that's different. And I just had that moment, like even with my brother, he's 18. He's in boot camp right now. He's already been there for a month. He has 2 months left. He graduates like the first week of September. And I feel like him just being there, we got a photo sent back of him at boot camp. And I just immediately, I'm like, gosh, I got so much respect for him, because I couldn't even do it. And I'd like to say I'm pretty tough. But I'm just looking at him and I'm like, I have so much respect, because at 18, he swore in, kept his from is it junior year? He signed in his junior year, even before his senior year.
Yeah.
And we were like, are you sure? Because you can't change your mind in a year.
Right. Like,
you have to go. And dang, like this boy kept it. He's got some big old biceps. He's been doing pull-ups and push-ups, and I'm like, I'm impressed. And, you know, so it's we were about that the other day, of like earning people's respect and gaining all that. I think that's so cool. Like, you just learn so many lessons, you know, of yourself, and other people learn that of you. And I think that's cool. Do you learn stuff from each other
all the time?
From your photography too? Or like, do you share stuff with him, like, oh, I thought that this was a good idea? Or like, is that what your conversations are?
Oh yeah, because like with her, she is like really good at like marketing and the language and everything like that. And so like I'll feed off of that sometimes, but then like more so of like client fulfillment and like referrals and like all that stuff, like she'll feed
Selling.
that.
Oh yeah. What's like really good sale that you had, or like
She's
you
a
thought
deadly
maybe
closer.
it didn't go through, the sale was going to go through, but it did go through, like?
It's
What was
more
that
so whenever a client will reach out about a certain number of like hours coverage for like a wedding, they'll be like, oh well, we're thinking about 6 hours, but we're unsure about like this being part of our timeline. Like we want getting ready photos just like to have, but we're not sure if that'll fit in the timeline. And I'll be like, okay, well if you add 2 hours, we can fit that in, no issue.
So
You'll
8 hours total?
Yep.
Okay.
You'll have those memories. You're never gonna regret those memories. You'll have those memories with your bridesmaids, with your groomsmen, you know, with your mom, your first look with your dad, those special memories that you'll never get back. And immediately they're like, okay, we'll add 2 extra hours.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, have you ever been put in a situation where you're there and they ask you for more than expected, or do you just have to tell them like, hey, it's additional like coverage fee, or like you have to pay a little bit more?
Like the day of the wedding?
Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, it hasn't happened?
I have never had that situation happen. I feel like I almost go whenever I'm like discussing their timeline, and
I
like
see.
I'll hop on a call with them, I'll have them fill out a questionnaire, so I don't.
You set the expectation, like, hey, if you need
Yeah.
more, you're gonna have to.
She's
be
very
charged these.
thorough. Like on the intro parts, like she has
Yeah.
it down to a T now. Like the system.
I always think about those things because I thought about it for my wedding. I'm like, I didn't for anything else, but I feel like I'm pretty like easygoing, but I can only imagine like Bridezillas. Have you worked with any Bridezillas
Oh
yet?
my gosh,
Jaden,
yes.
have you been with her to like a shoot, or like just to kind of help or like see what she does? Have you ever gone with
I
her?
think even the like lifestyle shoots, like families,
Right.
and couples.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Not
think
not
even know a
weddings.
wedding.
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, when she got started, I was a DJ at the time, and
Nice.
so when
She's
we
like, let's go. I got a hot
Yeah.
drummer guy from All American Rejects, and then I got a freaking DJ. What else am I missing?
it was so funny because that like I was in the DJ, and then at church she learned how to like operate the cameras in in production, and that's how she fell in love with the photography. And we were like, man, we can make something out of this, because who wants like a DJ and a photographer? Like that's two
Everybody.
essentials.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so what if we would package our services together,
Smart.
have people save money, and like be able to just go together? Like you're going anyway, or I'm going anyway. So what if like we just both do the gig? And so I think your first wedding was a gig that I was DJing for a
Oh my
friend.
gosh, you DJ'd a wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, was that intense?
It was
it nervous?
the
Were you
most
sweaty?
stressful thing ever,
I can only
because
your first one.
number one, like if a track isn't playing or something, like just from the tracks part, like if something doesn't play correctly, or it's like the wrong snippet of a song,
Yeah.
everybody notices. And then like name pronunciation, when you're announcing the
Oh,
groomsmen and the
yeah.
bridesmaids, that is the hardest thing ever, because
Really?
some people have some crazy names, and when you literally just get the names like couple
2
minutes
seconds
before, and you're
Jonathan
like
Howard.
yeah, and I'm like,
You couldn't give me something easy like Smith.
I'll always like recover and like, I'm hoping I'm gonna say this correctly, but blank blank blank, or like, you know, like, and just kind of like
Oh,
roll
that's
through it. But
funny.
like some names I was like,
The it went out at our wedding, so they had preloaded songs on a track or something.
that's another thing too. Like in Pennsylvania, barn weddings were a big thing.
Oh, sure, yeah.
There's no internet in barns.
Oh, so, you have
So
a
like
spot.
having a hotspot, and then sometimes it's so out in the boonies that like the hotspot's bad, and you're just like
no.
praying.
So I think the DJ had, because where we were at, they do a lot of beach weddings, so they already know like you got to put the DJ closest to the
Right.
But I think it did go out because I kept telling Marielle to tell them, because they only spoke Spanish, and I think the internet went out and they had a preset like track that fill in, because they kept playing the same songs, and it was the most ratchet songs. I'm like, I didn't get any 80s in there. Didn't get any 80s. And the guy kept saying like, oh, I have to flow it into this song. I'm like, I don't care about the flow. Just cut it. And I just wanted to hear it. You know, the like Dancing Queen, like the wedding songs, you know. I'm like, I don't care. Just play it. But he kept, one of those things where it's like, not everything's going to be able to go perfect,
Right.
but you know, I feel like we're all solution makers here, so you guys
Very
are
true.
like looking for things. So so have you had Bridezillas, like some crazy people? Like,
Yes, more so than Bridezillas, I've had like crazy parents. Parents who are
like
like,
telling you what to do?
yeah, telling me what to do, telling the bride what to do, overstepping, and I've had to step in because obviously my main concern is fulfilling the bride and groom's wishes.
Right, because they paid.
Yeah. So if I can see that a bride is getting overstimulated, like I've had an uncle who kept coming in. I would take a photo of family portraits and then he'd come in and do it, and we were delaying their timeline. Like,
Wow.
yeah, and I was just like, the bride be able to get these photos. They can send them to you. You have all of these professional photos edited, culled through, like all of that, and then it's typically a good, easy
Okay.
solution. But yeah, it happens.
Well, now I know. Folks, if you're needing a photographer,
There you
they
go.
also do travel, right? You travel.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
before you weren't traveling queen. Now you're traveling queen of Fountain Hills, Arizona.
There it is.
That's so funny. Wow. That's crazy. What is that like in the future for you? Is that, pursue? Is that something you want to, or just keep it as what it is now? Or like what?
I definitely
have you
want
thought?
to grow my photography business, scale it like unbelievably to the point that I can only take on the weddings that I want to take on, and I don't have to just take them on for money.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
I don't do weddings for money. I do it because I love it, but it is my job at the end of the day, and I just want to do that more so where I can handpick the weddings and put my full attention to those weddings rather than having a whole month booked out. So I definitely want to scale it, grow it, and I love it, so I never want to stop.
That's cool. What about you, Jaden? What's in your future? What is something that you want to, or a project that you want to work on, or things
Yeah.
that are coming up your way, Courtney?
Like staying on like the work track, I think with the Elliott group, I've always talked to Danny about this, and I've always told I from what he said, I've been the only person to tell him that I'm coming for his job, and I think it's just because of how close we are in our stories with like our age and everything like that, and just we think very similar, and that's one huge goal of mine is to like be the VP of sales in the Elliott group, and just because Danny has been and Ian, I think, have been the two biggest like role models, because if it weren't for those two, I wouldn't. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
But with Danny, he's really helped me, especially in the last like 2 years that I've really been like on the virtual team and that kind of thing. He's really brought me into like, and stepping into my full potential, and then also in that teaching me so much along the way about how he's been able to win at a massive level, and I just pretty much replicate that, and I've tied it into my own style, my own personality, and it seems that it's very similar to Danny's just naturally. So he's a good person for me to like feed off of and like really look up to in a sense, to just be able to like replicate that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I tell a lot of people, like the first time I ever speak with them, or people that have never really like entered in our world, I always explain to them the Elliott group is like a big bag of Skittles. Like there's a red one, and then a purple one, and then a green one, and and you got the sour versions, and then the
Right.
berry ones, like, and then now they have the gummy Skittles now. Like there's so many of us, and we're all in one bag. We're all on the
So
same
true.
mission, but we're all kind of like our own different flavors and different styles. So what do you feel like makes you the most unique out of everybody that's here in the company? What do you like is your X factor?
Yeah.
Than everybody else.
I would say the biggest thing is just my focus on a relationship over like quote unquote selling them anything, because I know if there's like, my whole thing is like relationship capital, because a lot of people think like, okay, if my bank account has 6 digits in it or whatever it may be, whatever the goals are, like, but if you really look at a bank account and you had a bank account for all the relationships you had in, like, everything like that, because at the end of the day, like, money's gonna come and go. I know that, like, you're gonna have great months, bad months, terrible months, amazing months, like, it's just gonna flow. That's the name of the game. But if you can look back and you can have these core people, core group, this core tribe of just like great relationships, then you've been able to make over the last few years, and you turn around in 5 years and you have all these people that are like, oh my gosh, Jaden, you know, he helped me so much. He was like such a servant heart. Like he built such a relationship. Like that's what I'm after, because I mean, yeah, if you know you have a great relationship, is it going to be better business? Great, yeah. But like at the end of the day, regardless if they, you know, spend money or not, it's just a good opportunity. In the position I'm at, it's like, why wouldn't I, you know, build a great relationship while I'm at it? So
yeah, very true. Wynter, what do you want to be known for? And it can be it doesn't have, it can be business or it can be personal, or, you know, whatever it is. And by the way, like, it's so funny because you'll look back on this in like 5 years and then 10 years and then 15 years. And, you know, what's important to you now will totally change later, because 5 years ago, if you would have asked me that, like, what do I want to be known for, is very different 5 years ago than what it is now. But there's like, you're always just kind of like finding yourself in the process, you know, of those things. And
yeah.
Evolution, it's always going to be there, and we'll do another one in 5 years, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the whole I created an Elliott Army series so we could be able to pass it on to your kids.
That's so cool.
Documentation is really important for me and for the Elliott group, so that's why I'm doing everybody in the Elliott group, because I want to be able to show, you know, your kids, and you have footage of yourself from, you know, what your dreams were when you're 18, and how you what do you feel like, what do you want to be?
I just want to be bold. Jaden has always been the one to like speak and make a us, but I want to step out, and especially my faith, I always say I want to live and love like Jesus. So I want people to see Jesus in me as I walk this earth every single day. And we were just talking actually about podcasts, about this one specifically, and how like I would love to somehow get myself out more so on the social media and not behind a camera, more so like in front of the camera, for people to see my face and make a difference and talk about Jesus. And
oh my gosh, are you guys coming out that you're starting a podcast? I'm just kidding.
Coming soon.
Listen, I'm telling you, starting a podcast has been one of the things that has absolutely changed my life. And I'm just telling you guys, like, I've met a lot of people that have decided to start one after this, and this isn't like the main thing, but just compounding and doing it. I can't, like, relationship capital, I cannot tell you how many relationships that I've met through people that I've done business with or became best friends with. I've had people that have flown out here from Pennsylvania, Texas, California, people that I'm like, I'm not like paying you to come here, and they're like, nope, don't need to be paid, want to do it because I like you and your brand and your mission and what you stand for, and I want to do this with you. But it's like, it's just brought me, and also I tell people I started this podcast selfishly because I want to learn from other people.
That's
like
good.
Other people have something that I don't, because everybody's background's different,
right,
culturally, and you know, just the region of where you're from. And so I'm just saying, you know, whatever that may be, like just doing it and staying consistent with it, and then it's a great way for you to be on camera, work on your social skills, and then it's like, I didn't even do any of the talking. Like, you guys did it all. I just sat here and asked the questions. Like, you guys did all the work. I just kind of facilitate it. But I think that'd be so cool. Like, you should, you know?
And it's way out of my comfort zone, but that's what I want to be.
Yeah. And I mean, I remember even before I started a podcast, I would do like Zoom calls every Wednesday as a value add for people. Call it Win It Wednesdays. And me and whoever, it was just a free webinar. Everybody would talk about their wins on Wednesday, and I would just record that and put that, and it started from there. And then somebody's like, you should do video, and I was like, oh, I guess we technically have a room, like we could do it. And, you know, so, and you could do virtual. You don't even have to do it in person. You guys are here in the studios here, but you know, like you could do it in the war room or from home. You know, it doesn't.
Very true.
It to start it is very minimal. So. I mean, I've been doing this for 2.5 years now, so imagine in 10 years what it's going to look like, you know?
Very true.
And so I'm just saying, like, Wynter, that's, you know, or something to think, you know, or like take notes on, or, you know, pray about it, of like, what direction should I feel like sometimes when I pray about things, I'm like looking for signs. Oh my gosh, wait, I told you about the book the other day, how I opened up the Bible? Oh, I didn't tell Jaden. Did you tell Jaden?
No.
Oh, it was the wildest thing ever. Do you want to know? Okay, I'm coming up with 3. Shout out to Adam who gave me this, put this in my brain. I am finding different Bible verses, one that represents my past, my current, and my future. And so I'm reading into Joshua 1:5. I opened up the Bible the other day, and it opened up to Joshua 1:5.
That's crazy.
bro, what are the chances? So that's why when I asked you guys that of how do you use real or not, that was my answer. In case you guys were wondering, in case you were gonna ask me. But I opened it up and I was like freaking. I was like, Tyler, come. He's like, what? I'm like,
yeah.
And I told him we did a Bible study on Wednesday night. So on the way home, I was talking about it, and he's like, a coincidence, like it is what it is. Anyways, as we begin to wrap up here, what's the best piece of advice that you guys would like to share with anybody listening to this? And we have all different walks of paths of that listen to this. I get a lot of messages from moms that are like trying to find their identity. You know, I get a salespeople too. Yeah. But I also get people that are really successful already. But you know, they're kind of wanting courage. Or I have people from corporate that are wanting to get into entrepreneurship. Or I do have people actually that are in the corporate world. They're doing great, but they want to know like, how do I add more value to my life to like move up in salary or like move up in my company? So I'm trying to have like 4 different categories, but I just have a lot of random people that reach out. So what do you like as some advice that
I'll go first, just because it's funny. I knew what I was going to say, and then you said identity. And I think for me, I feel like, you know, doing the work or like doing whatever it is that I need to do probably like 20% of the time. And I think my superpower is having an alter ego and like just having a person. I'm like, okay, in 5 years, what it be, and then I just become that person, and I just become the person that God has, like the way God sees me, by reading the Bible and by spending time in prayer and just spending time in communion. Like I can see, I mean, not to the full extent, and I don't think I ever will, but like I can see a glimpse of how God sees me, and that's how I try to focus my identity on myself. Because at the end of the day, you know, you have a godly confidence as a Christian, and I feel like if you can walk in that, not only are you going to continue making impact and like helping other people and changing other people, but you're just going to feel so much better and so much fulfilled, and you feel like you're like walking in your calling and walking in your purpose. And when you feel like that, you're just more open to receive and open to give. So that would be my piece of advice, is just stepping into your identity, seeing yourself as God sees you, and just walking that out.
Mine's kind of similar to his. I was going to say mine. Your mindset, how you think, is how you're going to be. If you think love, you're going to be love. If you think humble, you're going to be humble. So no matter what, if it's business or your faith or your family, how you think is how you're going to act. And just having a good mindset, having a growth mindset is going to determine your. And if you have a bad mindset, if you have a mindset of complacency, you're going to be complacent. So just how you think is how you're going to act, for sure.
That's good.
That's great advice. I did on Instagram the other day, and it was a doctor. Doctor was talking about, it was a video over of reaction of me responding to him. And he was talking about people who are attractive. And he said, if you're too perfect, nobody will approach you. No, you can't get anybody to talk to you.
Right.
Because perfection, people can't relate to.
True.
But he says when you're less than perfect, and you appear that you're less than perfect, you make it easier, more approachable. So he's like, he does plastics, so he's like, you know, if you get, you know, like a boob job or you get your lips done, like, you know, if it's too much perfect, it feels like people can't relate to you. It's pretty much what he was getting at.
Right.
And gosh, and I just love that, because I feel like most surgeons are just trying to make everybody look perfect, but he's not.
Very true.
That doctor, his name is Dr. Dan. I love watching his stuff, and he's very much of a realist. But I say that because that's something that I really, really, I'm to know as your guys' friend about you guys, is that to me, I feel like you don't seem too perfect to where it's like not available for me to approach you.
Right.
Whereas other people, I feel like they try to fit the mold. Seth Godin talks about like being a linchpin, being unique, and not fitting the box like everybody else. And I hope that you guys keep that chip on your shoulder always of like, you know, being approachable.
Right.
Because I think you really carry that like trait, and that characteristic about you both is you're very, you know, warm, welcoming people. So I know you won't ever lose that, and that's something that I love about you guys. So
I love it. It's good.
Anyways, I'm so excited. I made you something small. It's nothing crazy. It's tiny. It's nothing crazy, but it's just small with new. I couldn't get all the way on there, but I got the H just in time.
That's so fun.
Anyways, I've been practicing it on the side with my
That's
little
awesome.
thing. So more goodies to come. Like everything that I get in, I'm trying new stuff. And I'm
great.
like, who else's name? And I've never done W's before. So W is pretty tricky
Yeah.
Yeah.
on writing.
I was just trying to write a W in cursive yesterday, and I was struggling. And I write all the time with my own name, so.
Yeah. Anyways, so don't mind me if you get like a hair clip or something in a couple weeks. I'm like trying on all different like surfaces.
That's
so
awesome.
and there you go for your traveling.
Yes.
You know,
I actually think I need a new one.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody try to take this Hamilton. Anyways, well, I'm just grateful for you guys, and thank you so much for being on the podcast and just like sharing your stories. I think you guys are really a gift to the world, and never lose that specialness.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us on.
You're welcome. Until next time, when we shatter limiting beliefs and we are fungus free.
Oh, snap.
See you next time.